First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Live starts now.
It sounded like a loud noise, like a chainsaw noise. And then the boy came and asked us for help. And we ran down, the house was in flames.
It was already up in flames. You couldn't even walk in. Like you heard the glass breaking and everything.
Those are accounts of a couple of witnesses to that fire late last night at a home on Sharon Drive in Mobile. Police say a 5-year-old boy died in the blaze. His 12-year-old brother managed to escape and call 911. Police say their parents were out to dinner and the children were home alone. Today we are asking questions about how long they were out and what caused this fire. Our Brendan Kirby is working on this story and he will have more on Fox 10 News at 5. But a devastating start on this Friday, of course. We want to welcome you into Fox 10 Live, everyone. I'm Shelby Myers. Thank you for joining us. Well, 1 year ago this week, Hurricane Helene slammed into the Gulf Coast, moving quickly inland and causing catastrophic flooding in western North Carolina. The water came rushing down mountains, quickly overwhelming valley communities. And while the recovery effort is still very much a work in progress, some folks are looking back and remembering how the community came together. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein says he needs $20 billion in federal funding to completely rebuild. In the meantime, business owners are pleading with tourists to come back to the area.
Our mountains are still beautiful. Our people are still vibrant. Our communities are still bustling.
Meanwhile, the Carolina coast is bracing for another big storm. Imelda is tracking to hit Charleston early next week. Forecasters say Imelda will likely hit Charleston as a tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane. Australian scientists test the strength of a new bite-resistant wetsuit material by allowing sharks to chomp on them. Scientists at Flinders University in South Australia tested 4 bite-resistant materials on the sharks, finding they all reduce the amount of damage a human could experience from a bite. The bites from large sharks can still cause injuries, though, but this material proved to be better than a standard wetsuit.
It's not the entire suit, right? They've only used the special material in specific parts of the suit, and it's designed to protect you in the places that are most dangerous for blood loss, to protect like the major arteries. Most people who do die from shark bites, it's from blood loss. It's not from losing, being eaten or carried away or anything.
Chainmail suits that resist shark bites have existed for decades. However, they lack flexibility for aquatic activities like surfing and diving. These results appear in the journal Wildlife Research. Very interesting there, and how that could change the way people go diving and looking at sharks underwater. It is another Friday, a big Friday kickoff, and we're so excited to talk with Nicholas and Emily as they are out live, and it's going to be a jam-packed night. Guys, what do you have in store for us tonight?
As always, Shelby, we have so much in store for you. This is kind of what I've branded as the Big Friday Kickoff Preview. Now, because we have Big Friday Kickoff at 4 and 5, now we have the Big Friday Kickoff Preview. We're excited. We have so many games that we're talking about this week. We are here at C.A. Douglas Field. This is the campus of Theodore High School, the Theodore Bobcats. They're taking on might I add, Fairhope Pirates tonight.
You got skin in the game
yes,
tonight.
I've got skin in the game tonight. I'm actually going to stay through this entire game.
Yeah, you got to do all your band duties.
Yes, I've got to do my band duties as well. So this is going to be a fun night for me. It's going to be a fun night of football. This is going to be a great football game as well. We've been talking about it, and we have other games that we're super excited for as well. Let's talk briefly, kind of preview a little bit about this game and some of the other games that we're showing this week and talking about on Big Friday Kickoff. Starting with this game, what are the keys to kind of pay attention to? What are people watching for?
Well, I think it's important to note that we're kind of at that midway point in the season. It's week 6. A lot of, all these games this week are non-region matchups, and if you're not playing this week, you're on a bye. So it's kind of like that rest week. I would like to think that hopefully some guys are going to get some rest, and maybe some younger players are going to get some playing time to avoid some injury. That's what I would be thinking. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if it's a region matchup or not. These guys are competitors, and
they want to win.
They want to win, absolutely. And that's super important in this one tonight. Fairhope, a 7A team coming into town to take on the 6A Bobcats. They're coming off a huge region win over St. Paul's last week. I shot that game. Let me tell you, it was back and forth the entire night. Theodore got the win in that one, 42-41 in the final
They were
second.
down at the half.
They were down majority of the game.
Okay.
Like, they didn't get the lead until those final seconds to win 42-41. I mean, St. Paul's gave them everything they could handle, and those guys were just resilient. They battled back to get that win. I think it's also important to note that Theodore's 4-1 going into this one. This time last year, with these same opponents that they faced, their schedule's pretty much the same from last year to this year. They were 1-4 coming into this matchup with Fairhope last year. So just two completely different Bobcat teams, and I think that they're going to give Fairhope everything they can handle tonight. 7A doesn't matter. Look, Theodore, they're on a roll right now, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight, of course, here. There is another huge rivalry game that we're talking about, one that I'm always excited about. I like the close rivalries. Spanish Fort heading to Daphne. What about that one?
This one is always a huge rivalry game. Another 6A, 7A matchup, but these two schools are not very far from one another.
No,
and I think one of the most important storylines in this season is the quarterback situation, because Christian Seeger, the starting quarterback for Daphne this year, was the backup quarterback to Aiden Schamberger at Spanish Fort last year. And then a whole nother element to it, you've got JJ Thibodeau, who was the starting quarterback at Daphne last year. He's the backup to Aiden Schamberger at Spanish Fort this year.
They just said, here, take the quarterback.
It's been a little, me and Joe talked about this. He called it Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday of the quarterbacks,
It's Freaky Friday of the quarterbacks, some musical chairs going on there. So I think that's pretty interesting. I think that for Christian Seeger, it'll be kind of you know how when Oklahoma played Auburn in the whole Jackson Arnold situation, when you go up against your former team, I feel like there's a little more emotion in that game, because you want to go beat the team that you didn't get to start for, you know, because now he's the starting QB at Daphne, so a little extra emotion in this matchup.
Yeah. Quickly, we do want to talk about the forecast, some great stuff there. Just go to the graphics and let's go ahead and take a look at this. 85 degrees. It's a little warm out here. Is there a chance for rain? Yes, it's only around 20%. Looking at the Big Friday kickoff forecast, I think a lot of these games, get this, start kickoff temperatures in the 70s, so it's going to be a lot better. How about some low 70s at the end of the game? Good news there. I'll have another look at that forecast. There's that Daphne Spanish Fort forecast. 77 dropping to 72 at the end of the game. So we've got a lot more to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit more, I think, about Spanish Fort and Daphne, and talk about that, also one of our other games that we're following. But Big Friday kickoff coming up at 4 and 5 o'clock. We'll have another hit in just a little bit here in the 3 o'clock show. So we're excited for it.
We're just getting started.
All right, Shelby, we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, guys, don't have too much fun out there. We will catch back up with you guys a little bit later on. All right, it's your story time, and we've got a couple of pictures for you to show. The first one comes in from Kendra Everett, and she captions this cleverly: Friday mood. Get it? Because there's some cows in the picture. This is in Bay Minette, Alabama, and I hope there are cows in the picture. It's hard for me to really see, but I like where she's going with that picture. You can see the cows there. Thank you so much for sending that in. Let's go now to Jeremy Talley's picture, West Mobile sunset, and that is very beautiful. It almost looks like it's winter in that picture for some reason to me. I don't know, there's like just a glisten out there. I guess we did have that rain yesterday, so there's a little wetness on the ground, but thanks for sending that one in. Next one comes in from Michelle. It says, beautiful start on Friday, and this is from Axis. Very, very pretty, and I agree, a beautiful start. We kind of had some overcast skies over in Baldwin County when I woke up this morning, and I was like, is it or is it not going to be rainy? But I knew, I listened to the meteorologist, it was going to clear out. So yeah, it was a nice start. That cloud cover out there brought to you by, yes, probably some distant storms, but I'm not going to pretend like I know. We'll ask Jason. All right, Kathy Hall has the next one. Mayday sunset after a rainy day. So imagine this was yesterday sunset, because we did see some of that rain. Very beautiful shot. Lynn Lowe sends us this Pink Rainbow by Jackson Lowe, and this is in Daphne. That's a really cool picture, and yeah, pink rainbow is pretty accurate there. The pink skies, you only really see like one color pink in the rainbow, even though we know rainbows have multicolors, but very cool shot. Lisa Furr sends the sunset over Fur Lake, and this is in Jackson. Shout out to Jackson, and Lisa, thank you for sending that one in. Very serene and gorgeous. And then we've got Anna Rio, who sends in sunset in Leroy, Alabama. Whoop, whoop. Those are my folks up there near Clark County, Leroy and Jackson and all of that. So I love seeing this. Beautiful skies if you're ever in that part of Alabama, small town, lots of sky to see, very beautiful. And of course, you can always send in more pictures and videos as well of whatever you are seeing out there. If you're at the football game tonight, no matter which football game it is, send us a picture or a video of what you're seeing. We might just share it in our newscast. We've got more news coming up for you after the break, so don't go anywhere. Look at this live shot off of Dolphin Island. Beautiful. The sun is back around.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Live.
Happy Friday and welcome back in. A historic baseball brings out the best in a Seattle Mariners fan. Glenn "Muddy" Driscoll picked up the 60th home run ball hit by Cal Raleigh Wednesday night, and he then handed the ball to a child near him in the bleachers. And that boy and his father were taken from the area by stadium security to have the ball made authentic. Team officials told The Athletic that the boy traded the ball to the Mariners for an autographed bat from Raleigh and he was invited to a future batting practice. And that kid wasn't the only one to benefit from this experience. The Mariners also found Muddy Driscoll, who then got a chance to meet Raleigh and get his own autographed bat with the inscription, "Thanks for being a good guy and nice catch." Since Raleigh is only the 7th player in Major League Baseball history to hit 60 home runs in a season, the ball he hit is possibly worth more than $100,000 if it's auctioned. Wow. What a nice man to do that. Very cool story. Will it be Peanuts, Batman, or how about a Disney villain? Time is running out for you to pick which stamp the U.S. Postal Service should bring back for reprinting. It's all part of the Postal Service's Stamp Encore contest, where you can decide which of the 25 stamps should be reprinted. The Postal Service created the contest as a way to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary. You can vote online at stampsforever.com/vote. You have until midnight on September 30th to cast your ballot. However, the winning stamp design will not be announced until May of next year. Popular interior designer Joanna Gaines is being immortalized in plastic. The co-founder of Magnolia is getting her own Mattel doll, according to People. Gaines' doll comes with flared jeans, sunglasses, and a graphic t-shirt that bears her birth year of 1978. Pre-orders of the doll are being taken now, and they'll be available in Target stores this December. That's pretty cool. She is an icon in her own little way, so love to see it.
And welcome back to our Big Friday kickoff preview here at Theodore, the campus of Theodore High School. Theodore is taking on Fairhope today. We're super excited about this one. Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso, Emily Cochran, sports director. We are excited for tonight. We've been having fun out here. It's actually pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
it's not too
nice.
hot. I mean, it's hot, but it's not.
It's a little warm, but we've got a little cloud coverage right now, which is super nice. I love that. When we first got here, the team was out here doing some walkthroughs, just kind of getting prepared for tonight. They actually just went in right before we got started here at 3. So
yeah, we talked a little bit about the Theodore Fairhope game and kind of things to look for. Theodore does look pretty strong, for being honest. I do want to mention, go back to the Spanish Fort Daphne game. We're kind of previewing each and every game that we're covering here. Spanish Fort, good team, historically good team. Daphne has got a little momentum into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Spanish Fort in 6A, they're really struggling this year. They don't look like a notorious Toros team. Yeah. So they're not having a great time so far for Spanish Fort. But Daphne, on the other hand, I think they look better than they've looked. And I'm gauging it on how long I've been here. I'm on year 4. And so in the time that I've been here, Daphne's always been, they're a team that makes it to the playoffs, but they don't make it far because 7A is, we've talked about it before, 7A is such a difficult nut to crack when you're getting up there and you're going up against teams like Hoover and Thompson and Central Phoenix City. But I think this Daphne team looks really, really good this year. I mean, they took down Baker. Their only loss of the season to MGM in the final, and that one was 41-31, I think. So, I mean, they just look better than they have in the years that I've been here. Kenny King has those guys firing on all cylinders. He's a defensive guy, so that defense is always going to be strong. But I think that offense just looks really, really good. And a big transition for them is adding Christian Seeger, having him this year. And me and Kenny King talked about it before the MGM game a few weeks back, and he said that that's been the biggest thing for his team is Christian Seeger coming in and just kind of taking control of this offense. And that's going to be really hard for the Toros to stop.
That's going to be, I'm going to be watching for that score. And of course, we have many ways for us to watch. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about our game of the week. UMS Wright, T.R. Miller.
Yeah, Dacian Smith's headed up to Bruton. We've been sending him all over the road lately.
Yes, he
we
really has been traveling.
Last week we sent him up to Flomaton. This week he's in Bruton. Next week he's in Jackson. But I think that this game up in Bruton between UMS and T.R. Miller is it's one you absolutely cannot miss. If you remember this game from last year, it was played at UMS. In the first play of the game, there was an injury. I mean, very first play of the game, Ken Lett, he ended up breaking his neck. And the T.R. Miller player. And that was just such a big thing in the game. And it's the anniversary of that. And before this game up in Bruton, they are going to recognize him. He's going to be there, and they're going to recognize the first responders that were there that night. It's just going to be, this game's going to have a lot of emotion in it, I believe. So I think it's going to be a special thing for them to recognize him before the game even starts. But as for the game itself, both of these teams are under new leadership. UMS has first-year head coach Sam Williams. I mean, we went out there week one, got to hang out with him, and Mississippi guy, and he's really kind of just transformed this Bulldogs offense.
Chaos on grass, I believe.
Chaos on grass. We've talked about it a lot, and it seems to be working for the Bulldogs. I mean, they gave Viger everything Viger could handle, and Viger's the #1 team in 5A. So, and then T.R. Miller on the flip side, they're under first-year head coach Ronnie Cottrell, longtime head coach at Mobile Christian, now taking over for T.R. Miller since Brett Hubbard retired during the offseason. So, both of these coaches, it doesn't matter that they're first-year head coaches. They've got experience. They've won a lot of games, and I think this is going to be a good one. A 5A, 3A matchup, but just because T.R. Miller's 3A, that doesn't mean anything. That does not mean anything when it comes to the Tigers. They're historically a powerhouse program. Same thing for UMS Wright. I mean, both of these teams just very, very good. I think this is going to be a good game tonight.
So a lot of great games to feature. Super excited about all of this. Of course, Dacian will have his game of the week preview coming up. Fox 10 Gulfstream, if you don't have that, take a look at that. That's, of course, happening later tonight. Big Friday kickoff. We're talking about this game. We've got player interviews. We've got coach interviews, so much more. You're going to be doing your halftime score updates as well.
Yep, later tonight at 8:30, and then we're going to stream all the highlights at 10. I'm super excited for that. And then, of course, Dacian will have his extended game of the week preview. I mean, a lot of cool stuff. And hopefully we're going to get to stream Ken Lett being recognized before the game, hopefully in the first responders. I'm hoping we're going to get to stream that during his extended game of the week preview.
If you have the app, watch out for the push notifications. We have to talk about forecast. The sun's come out here, and suddenly I'm sweating a lot more.
It's warm.
So we do have some clouds. You can kind of see the puffy cumulus clouds behind me. Those are trying to pop up. There is the smallest chance of rain out there today, only around 20 to 30%, mostly east of Interstate 65. I'd recommend checking the radar before you get out, just in case, especially if you are in the Northwest Florida area and going out to a game. So that's that All-In Credit Union Tailgate weather forecast. Hey, our game of the week, as we mentioned up in Bruton, temperatures, get this, kickoff temperatures in the 70s. That's just exciting to say.
I love
How about a kickoff of 75 degrees at the end of the game in Bruton?
Can it be that
70.
right now?
I know. I wish it could be that right now. 70
that.
degrees at the end of the game. Some really good stuff there. Again, other games, we talked about Daffy Spanish Fort. There you go. 77 dropping to 72 at the end of that one. Looking elsewhere at the forecast, look at the Futurecast model. Interesting to see this here. A couple of specs do try to pop up south of Interstate 10, east of Interstate 65. As I mentioned, keep an eye on the radar. Fox 10 Weather app is a good way to do that. And then as we go through the night, pretty quiet, and drier air starts to work its way in. Your forecast lows overnight tonight. Temperatures in the low 60s in our inland spots. Low 60s, yes, I like that. How about some upper 60s in the inland spots? Across the region tonight, temperatures getting down to the 60s. I mean, 60 degrees there in Memphis, so that looks pretty good. And then tomorrow's forecast across the region, of course, we do have some college football to talk about. Temperatures in the afternoon in the upper 80s. It's a quiet forecast for much of the southeast, except for the Carolinas. There is a little bit of rain. And, of course, we're keeping you updated on the tropics. The Carolinas might have to watch out for a tropical system in the coming days. This weekend, next weekend, we'll be keeping you updated on that. That 7-day outlook. That's nice and dry. It does get warm towards next week. 90 degrees next week.
I need what head coach Steve Mask has, that little golf cart he's riding around on to get from A to B instead of walking around.
You know what head coach Steve, he was riding around cool as a cucumber.
Just
out
lean
there.
back,
Yes.
just big chilling.
That is how you do it. So we're going to have your Big Friday kickoff at 4 and 5 o'clock. Be sure to tune in. We are having fun out here. Shelby?
All right, guys, you are having a lot of fun. Love to see it. We will be right back with more Fox 10 Live as we leave you with this live look of downtown Mobile and the pretty blue skies. A little bit of clouds out there, but as you heard, it's a warm one, so dress appropriately. Hey, this is really exciting news. A nearly extinct bird has just hatched out of
resources to win.
Don't hesitate. Call Dean Waite.
Hey, this is really exciting news. A nearly extinct bird has just hatched at a zoo in England. Here's the newborn photos of the baby Socorro dove. Its birth marks the first time the conservation zoo has bred this species. The dove's native habitat is the Socorro Islands off the Mexican coast. Probably saying that incorrectly. Their population decreased after severe habitat loss from deforestation combined with the introduction of non-native predators. The bird was declared extinct in the wild in 1972. There's only about 209 of these doves left in the world, and the chick's arrival is a significant boost to the species' survival. This day in history takes us back to the early days of TV broadcasting and politics. It was on this day, September 26, 1960, that Democrat John F. Kennedy and Republican Richard Nixon squared off in the first ever televised presidential debate. It was broadcast live from Chicago. The showdown marked a turning point in American politics where image and television presence could influence voters alongside the issues themselves. You could see these men, what they looked like as they were speaking. So, very cool day in history. All right, there's a new place to watch classic TV starting today. I'm talking about shows like The Andy Griffith Show, Carol Burnett, Gunsmoke, and MASH. Well, you can see them all and many others on MeTV Gulf Coast. It's available now on broadcast channels 10.7 and 31.2, as well as on Comcast channels 183 and 1183. All right, Big Friday Kickoff is coming up. We'll see you later.